right, it is time without further ado for Hate Mail Monday.
It's time for Howie Carr's Hate Mail Monday. Let the hate flow through you.
Now, before we get into all of the hate, Howie, I do want to give you a special shout out, which I know you saw. The New York Post mentioned you in one of their columns about how inept and corrupt the FBI is. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
That's good. I appreciate that. Thank you for mentioning that, Grace. I was glad to see that. I always like to appear in the New York Post.
Yeah, no, it's always really cool. And
unless it's in a Matt Gaetz type of context or a Hunter Biden type of context.
Yeah, in that case, you don't want to be mentioned anywhere.
No.
All right, so let's start here. Some of our listeners, even our haters, got into the Easter spirit. Let's start with cut 1.
Hey, how are you pathetic? I looked at your website. Holy crap. Oh, thank you, Mr. President. Are you all right? By the way, maybe I won't call you again because I'm wasting my friggin' time. Oh, by the way, my sister-in-law watches all the time. And I told my sister I can't stand him. I can't stand Howie Carr. You know what she said? You don't like Trump. Goodbye, Howie. Goodbye. Good riddance. Oh, by the way, happy Easter.
See, the difference is when Trump went crazy on Saturday and wrote his screed and then put Happy Easter, he didn't have any cocktails. He did it stone cold sober, unlike that guy.
Yeah, and the thing about Trump is when he writes those, you can tell that he's laughing the whole time. That the guy that just left that voicemail, he's angry. But I think Trump writes those and kind of giggles. Like when you write your columns, Howie, about the state police or, the corrupt politicians, you kind of, it brings you joy.
Oh, it does. Absolutely does. And then when I get these nasty responses, that brings me even more joy.
Exactly. It's a never-ending cycle of joy. How you were to call in Massachusetts electorate's ignorance might just get millionaires tax passed.
Yes, I did.
And
I wrote about the graduated income tax. It's gone down since 1962. It's gone down at the ballot box, I think 6 times. Or 5 times, and then it was thrown out by the Supreme Court once, the Supreme Judicial Court. And I said, though, now people are so stupid that the margin has gone down from 83 to 75 to 67 to 64, that the people are stupid enough now to maybe pass this thing on the grounds that, it will only affect the millionaires, and they're doing it for the children.
Well,
they're not going to get me because I'm a good person. I voted for Joe Biden.
At Framing Hammer wrote back to the Boston Herald. Oh, excuse me. I just got choked up there for a moment. To the Boston Herald, Howie doesn't want to pay his fair share. I thought you might want to respond to that.
I am not going to pay my fair. I already pay my fair share and then some. And I am not going to pay. And it doesn't matter if I make $1 million a year. By 2024, it will be way, way under $1 million a year. So see you later, Framingham. I already sold my property in Framingham. Now I guess I'm just going to leave the state.
Howie, I just want to mention this as a little bit of a side note, but I took Friday off and I was going over Twitter. And I saw a story, and you probably felt this way before too, when you take a day off and you see a story and you're like, oh, I kind of wish I was at work right now so I could talk about this. The Pete Buttigieg, when he brought the bicycle in the
I was just SUV. On Newsmax talking about it today. Yeah.
That was unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes John Kerry look like legit.
I know. I quoted to John Bachman, who down here. I said, Barack Obama was quoted in one of those new books about the campaign as saying that Buttigieg couldn't be elected because he was too short and too gay. I said, after watching that video, we can add another 2. Too cute, as in conniving and,
Too cute by half.
Too cute by, that was way too cute by half. And the other thing I thought about was in the 2004 campaign, there was a memorable incident. The Democrat convention in Boston was over, so they went out, Kerry and Edwards and his wife that he was cheating on and was dying of cancer, and Mama T. And it was Edwards' anniversary, and back he was Poe. He was in law school at UNC when he got married to whatever her name was. And they had to go out for their wedding dinner at Wendy's. So they went out to Wendy's. They stopped the bus and they take it off and they all go like Mama T and John Kerry going into Wendy's. Try to imagine that. Not to mention Edwards and his wife. They're all multimillionaires. They go into Wendy's and then they spray it and then they just abandon their food and they go around the corner to a French restaurant. The thing was, nobody knew about that until after the campaign was over and it came out in a book or a magazine. Today, that would be out in 10 seconds, right? Because somebody would get a picture of them, even if it wasn't a reporter, because the reporters are all in the satchel for the Democrats.
Yeah, it would be a citizen, a good citizen,
right, a citizen journalist.
Yes. Those are the only people who actually report the news nowadays.
Right.
All right, Howie. Hate Mail Monday is brought to you by Piantadosi Baking Company, celebrating over 100 years of baking excellence since 1916. Let's go to cut 2, please, Taylor.
Howie, it seems like you have silly juvenile nicknames for almost everything and everyone that doesn't agree with you. Do you keep them written down or do you just remember them? I mean, there were so many.
I'm very talented, That's one of the things I have. I can't remember a lot of things, but I remember the nicknames that I give to people. Here's a good. Actually, this is a good one. 508 says Pete Buttigieg is the Rosie Ruiz of cabinet secretaries. That's a good way to describe him. Very good.
Great way to describe him. Oh, by the way, Howie, I always look on Twitter for hate mail for you. There's plenty, but someone ratted you out to Chris Cuomo. I guess on April 1st, you must have been talking about Chris Cuomo's father.
Yes.
The late Governor Cuomo.
Yes.
And this person said, at Chris Cuomo, Howie Carr just called your dad a sleazy governor on our local radio channel. I'm very angry. Me and my wife loved your father. And he sent it 3 times.
That guy was, I'm going to make a guess, a wild guess, Grace. Mm-hmm. That guy who loved Mario Cuomo, he was not related to former New York City Mayor Ed Koch.
Probably a safe bet. Also, Howie, this guy has classic ones. He doesn't really mix it up every week, but he still makes the cut. Cut 3.
Hey, Howie, I was going to call yesterday, being April Fool's Day and all. I'm sorry, I'm not fooling. You're a wiener.
Not that creative, but...
What is this, New York Politicians Day? I'm a wiener?
He says it's a weird too. You're a wiener. By the way, Howie, you tweeted out a story or a photo of Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. You said, the president's looking great at Mar-a-Lago.
Yes.
Mar-a-Lago.
This person tweeted back and said, you and him will have fun recalling the good times when you're both in hell. And another person said one ancient old man about another.
That's okay. I wasn't even there that night, by the way. I was working. I was working until 7:00. It was the mailroom manager and Charlotte were there.
Oh, and I should add in here, whenever I write anything, Howie's name manages to appear in the comment section of all my columns. And this person says, there is nothing bullies enjoy more than going after easy targets. That was the last line of my column about, the MLB caving to the woke mob.
Right.
And this person says, so writes Grace Curley. She should know, of course, her mentor is the obnoxious and disgusting bully in Boston, Howie Carr, the infamous Howie Carr. She works directly with him or for him, I believe, for many years, and it certainly shows in her lame columns. She just hasn't perfected it as Howie has. Well, I'll keep trying.
That's right, Grace. You're much younger than me. I mean, I've been at it much longer than you. You may be able to perfect it, and you may become as infamous as me. That's a good word, infamous.
Yeah, no, it is. This person writes, poor Grace, is this really what you want to do? Take a good look at has-been Howie. Sad, sad person. Run while you still can. And we have one hate mail from me.
Get right with Jesus, Grace.
I know. I need Jesus. This is the last voicemail we have, cut 4.
Grace, if you've ever listened to your high-pitched, whiny voice, it's getting on so many people's nerves. You are such a complete failure. I hope they take you off the air soon.
Complete failure. That one hurt.
You sound like a baritone compared to that woman. What about her own high-pitched voice?
I know. I do have a nice, deep voice. Howie, one more thing, because I think you'll appreciate this. One person commented on my column because I was discussing how the only racist part of this Georgia law is the voter ID and the fact that you can't get food in line. And you can get food, you just can't get it from an outside source.
Right.
And this person was hating on my column, and I'm reading the comment, and I'm like, he doesn't really make any points. He said, this whole bill is designed to deter and cancel certain people from voting. And it's a policy that people like Gracie love. If they're not going to vote, he spells there wrong, but that's neither here nor there. If they're not going to vote
I could tell that
way,
just from the way you read it, that he spelled it wrong.
If they're not going to vote my way, they shouldn't vote, period. Equating this with flying is asinine. One does not have a right to fly, and the government sets the requirements for public safety. But under the Constitution, people have a right to vote. And this bill is an attempt to take that right away from them. I thought the comparison to flying was actually pretty good, in my opinion.
I liked the fact that the guy tried to get an account opened with PayPal, which is down on this bill. And he said, I don't think I should have to use voter ID. And they told him to pound sand.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
The market will decide, as all the Democrats are telling us.
And also, if you go to Major League Baseball, you say, how do I pick up a ticket at the will call window? You know what they tell you, Grace? You don't have to have an ID. You have to have a photo ID to pick up your tickets to the will call window in Major League Baseball, anywhere, apparently.
I told you this story. I've said this on the air before, but my dad went to the Red Sox game for his 50th birthday. This was years ago. And he goes, and his license expired that day. And he goes to get a beer, gives the girl his license, and she goes, sorry, sir, it's expired. My dad goes, yeah, but it's my birthday. I'm 50 years old. And she goes, yeah, no, sorry, can't do it. So my dad goes, okay, no problem. So his friend goes up, gets 2 beers, which you're allowed to do, and then walks over to my dad, passes my dad the beer. The woman points at my dad, a 50-year-old man, and goes, no, sir, no, I see what you're doing. Please bring the beer back. You cannot have that. But IDs are racist when it comes to voting.
Charlie Parker gets a warm spot in his heart when he hears a story like that.
Yeah, no, you probably do.
All right. Thank you, Grace.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. I did it again this past Sunday, 3 bike rides in one day. All my energy is thanks to Balance 7. Balance 7 is a clear mineral liquid you take 3 times a day to break down the acid in your body. You feel better, and I personally sleep better. It also reduces acid reflux and heartburn. Often I'm asked to try products and can be very skeptical of claims, but with Balance 7, it was all 100% true. With Balance 7, I don't feel my energy starting to flag as the day wears on. By allowing me to sleep better at night, I have more mental clarity during the day. Balance 7 is a highly alkalizing concentrate. That means it reduces the acids that have built up in your body over time. All you do is drink a small shot of the liquid 3 times a day, and you will feel the difference. Balance 7 is made of safe, all-natural ingredients. If you suffer from heartburn, acid reflux, or sleep issues, give Balance 7 a try. Balance 7 is made in America and has sold over 6 million units worldwide. Order your 1-month supply at balance7.com. Use code word Howie free to save $10 and free shipping. Be one of the first 50 to purchase Balance 7 and receive Smooth Skin, an exfoliant and deep cleansing skin conditioner valued at $13.99 for free. You get it for free. Order now and receive $10 off a 30-day supply, free shipping, and a chance to receive Smooth Skin Conditioner at no charge. All by using my code word Howie free. That's Howie free. I'm Howie Carr.
Got hate mail?
You got anything on your chest besides your chin, you better get it off.
Send it off to Grace at HowieCarrshow.com.